Hey everybody, welcome back to the Fricken Dad Podcast.
The only podcast you run on CP time, Holmes.
Okay, see, that wasn't necessary. You didn't have to do all that. That was your choice to switch up? That was what did it for you? Damn it. Damn it. Not even 30 seconds in. You're on some bullshit. Damn it. And it's time to cut. We're actually not doing this episode. Fuck the last episode of the season. It's done. We're not doing it. Great. Literally, the title of this is Cancel Before We Come Up, and that was canceled before the first fucking minute of the episode.
I thought that's what made it perfect.
Jesus. Wow. Ain't that bad a bitch.
You were so not ready. You were so not ready.
I hope you're embarrassed. And the sad thing is, I know you're not. So, so unfortunate. I hope you choke on this bit.
Woo! Lord have mercy.
That was a good one.
That was a damn good one.
Got a kick out of yourself for that one.
Yes, ma'am. My abs are nice and tight now. I feel like it was a workout.
I'm sure they are. I'm sure you're enjoying yourself.
I do crack myself up.
I know you do.
Yeah.
But hey,
after all that, hey.
Yeah, how are you? What's new? What's going on?
Shoot, not a whole lot is going on. Specifically, I'm doing well. I was on that comedy game show. Still waiting for that to publish on. I believe it's on Roku and Apple TV. That you can get this comedy game show.
Okay, so it's kind of like maybe not big. I don't know what you have to do to get on those, but it's like interesting.
Yeah, it's something.
Okay,
it's something. So I did that. Ran a couple mics this week and try some new stuff out. I still have to fix that suicide joke. It doesn't hit as hard as it should. I know it's a funny. There's a funny in there. That one, we'll talk about it because it's one of the unpopular opinions.
Oh, God. Okay. So today's episode is about our unpopular opinions because, our last episode we talked about, cancel culture, and I feel like it's our time to get canceled, honestly, because that's always when everybody gets the most fame. So let's get canceled, Dad. Let's get canceled today.
Okay, Holmes.
I was going to say, you want to go first? I'm just ignore you at this point.
Well, since we're just in front of a couple of my closest and dearest friends, I have an admission to make. And I don't know if this makes me lose my black card, but I'm not a big Beyonce fan. I wasn't a big Destiny's Child's fan. I mean, they're not bad. Don't get me wrong, nothing like that. But I put it like this: if you pull up to the store, if I were to pull up to the store and Destiny's Child song was playing on the radio, I would not have a problem getting out the car and going to the store.
Okay. The girls and the gays aren't going to like this one.
Yeah. I'm sorry, girls and gays. Mostly gays, probably.
Yeah. But you don't really like Rihanna, though, either.
No, I'm not wowed by her. But again, I think she's okay. I think my issue, and I've thought about this a lot because it really made me try to dig deep and figure out if I'm as black as I think I am, is with the Beyonce and Destiny's Child. My issue, I think, is before I even heard any of their music, all I heard was how good they are. And oh, man, they're awesome. I don't even know if they had a record out at the time when they first started saying that. Mm-hmm. That, for some reason, I think rubbed me the wrong way. Don't try to tell me who to like. I don't.
That, and then also, like, when people do that, like I find myself doing that a lot with shows. Like, it's just like you hype it up so much that your expectations are way too high. So once you actually listen or once you actually watch, like, it's just like, oh, it's just like a regular ass show. or it may, like, I know for me, like when people hype it up, because like they did that a lot over quarantine when like shows and stuff like that were coming out, it made me just not want to watch. Like, I don't know, I'm sure you didn't watch this because this isn't a show that you would watch, but like Outer Banks was a huge thing in the beginning of quarantine. I don't think I watched it for until like the second season probably came out. Like, I didn't watch it for like a year and a half after it came out originally because it pissed me off so much with everybody hyping it up. I was like, I don't even want to watch it.
That's probably the same as some of these big movies that I have never seen from beginning to end. I've never seen Forrest Gump. People said how good that was for so much. I'm like, there is no way it can live up to everything you guys just made it to be. So
Mm.
I'm out.
Yeah, I don't think I
And
watched
there's a
Forrest
few.
Gump.
Yeah, there's a few like that though. I could probably rattle off a couple more that's like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of agree a little bit with Beyonce. Are you serious right now?
I'm hardly ever serious. What's going on?
Fucking Tia called me and it rang in my AirPod.
Oh, I
Hold
didn't hear
on.
it if it matters.
Okay, that's good. Let me text him and cuss him out. Give me a second.
Then just copy and paste. Shouldn't take you long at all.
Okay. So, but yeah, because I remember when we had like talked about what we were gonna say for this episode, and you had brought that up. I was thinking about it too. I don't think that like, so I like Beyonce, right? But okay, I don't even know how I put this. I'm not wowed by her either, but I will go ahead and give her props because I think that her um like vocal abilities are way beyond a lot of like, you know, artists or whatever. So like her skills amazing, I'll give her that, but like I don't think that I'm really wowed by her music either, and maybe it's cuz like kind of grew up on her a little bit, not necessarily cuz like you played her a bunch, but like, you know, like she was a big thing when I was younger, or maybe because it was like everybody hyped her up or what. But like I'm really not like a huge fan of this Renaissance album. I think the more that I've listened to it, it's grown on me a little bit, which obviously I don't think that you listened to it at all. But like I wasn't a big fan of it like when it came out, and everybody's like, like I'm going to her concert, but I'm really only going to her concert because it's Beyonce, and I feel like it's something that I just gotta go to once in my life, you know? And like
Right.
isn't she old? Didn't she get up there?
Bless your heart.
Not really. She's not. Isn't she like 40?
She might be in her 40s. That
But
sounds
yeah, so I'm
right.
just like, you know, I feel like I gotta go to one of her shows before she's not able to put on the show anymore.
Oh, and again, the girl can sing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying
Right.
that. I'm just like, but I'm not like, oh my God, Beyonce, oh, Queen Bee.
Right.
I'm not gonna.
And it's funny. It's funny that you say that too, because did you watch Swarm yet?
No, not yet.
Are you going to?
Yes.
Because it was really, really good, and it basically was like about a Beyonce fan, but they obviously called like the artist something else and like whatever. But I caught on to it very quickly because it was like, you know, they called them like the Swarm and the Beehive, and I was like, y'all better stop. Don't don't put Beyonce in this. Y'all don't got to do that. But it was a really, really good show, so I definitely highly recommend watching it.
Didn't Childish Gambino write that?
Yes, I think he was director and producer or whatever.
That's
But yeah,
funny.
he did his thing with that one.
Right on.
He ate that shit up.
Uh,
But yeah, all right, not too much. But yeah, I feel like that opinion was, you know, a good little intro or whatever. I feel like that wasn't too bad. You know what's funny though? Not like that we're talking about like artists or whatever. I think that going to Dreamville has made me re-enter my Drake era.
oh
I'm not
yeah.
gonna hold you. Even though I was just talking shit about Drake. I know I was just talking shit about Drake. But like something about it, I was like, oh God, like this, it was just bringing me back to like middle school. But again, I would only listen to that era of music. I wouldn't listen to like this new stuff. But I think it's making me re-enter my Drake era. I guess I have to talk about my Dreamville experience, huh?
Yeah. Spill the
Because
tea. That's what the
spill
young
the
folks
tea is
say.
crazy. Spill the tea is crazy. I would give my experience a solid. I would give it a 7 out of 10. I feel like when I was actually there, it was very much like giving like 4 out of 10. But then like once I stopped and like looked back on it after I got home, I was like, okay, that wasn't very bad. I think that like I had like a worse time or whatever, like not inherently because it was a like a bad festival or like, you know, a bad time or anything like that. I think it was just kind of like the situation that I was in, because like, you know, as we talked about last podcast, I was stressed, kind of did everything last minute. I didn't have anywhere to stay for the longest. I was like bouncing back and forth between places to stay, what the plan was, how much money I was going to spend. Like it was just like a stressful ass trip leading up to it. And then like the vibes were kind of bad from the jump. So basically what happened was one of my friends offered for me to stay with them because they were supposed to go, but then they ended up giving their ticket to a family member or whatever. But they were going to be in North Carolina anyways. I didn't have anywhere to stay because originally my friends were supposed to go, you know about that, and then like they
Mm-hmm.
didn't end up going, and then like I was going to get an Airbnb, and then like the Airbnbs were sold out. Hotels were $1,000 for the weekend. That didn't work. And then like someone that I knew that was supposed to go was like, oh, you could stay with me. And I was like, okay, cool, free hotel. And then they were like, oh, actually, I'm not going. And then I was like, okay, well, fuck. So yeah, it was just a big thing. But then basically this person ended up saying I could stay with them. I was like, okay, great, cool. So then I ended up driving. The drive really wasn't that bad. On the way there, I wasn't like super tired or anything. The drive actually was pretty peaceful. Like I would do that again just to do it. Like I don't know. It was okay. The drive wasn't too bad. It was like 6 hours, 7 hours, something like that. But I arrived at 11 p.m. and got there. Texted this person. I was like, "Hey, I'm here." They were like, "Okay." So then I went up to the door, or whatever, and they took me immediately to my room. I stayed in my own room or whatever, and they were like, "Oh, okay, just like let me know if you need anything." And I was like, "Okay." And I'm thinking nobody else is in the house or like nobody else is up or whatever because it's late. So I'm getting ready to lay down, whatever. I'm like on my phone, and then all of a sudden I hear voices, and I'm like, "Oh." So I felt like I was like, I wouldn't say snuck into the house because they knew that I was there, but I also just kind of like felt weird because apparently these people didn't know that I was coming until the day before. And then it wasn't like an ask of permission. It was a telling that I was coming.
Mm-hmm.
So then when I had arrived and I heard the voices, I was like, oh, okay, so no introduction is kind of fucking insane. I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know how I'm feeling about this. So whatever, I went to bed. And then Saturday was the first day of the festival. They ended up delaying it 3 hours because it was storming. So instead of gates opening at noon, gates opened at 3, right? Um I didn't end up getting a um shuttle pass because there was two options. It was either get a shuttle pass and park in one of the public parking and then you take the shuttle to the festival, or you get a regular parking pass and then like it's right across the street or whatever. I was going to do the shuttle pass. I knew that they were sold out. So then my plan was to get parking, but I don't know why I waited so long to get parking, but I was like, you know what, let me just get parking like before the festival or whatever. Obviously it was sold out, but that wasn't too bad of a thing though because the parking for 2 days of parking, why was it $120? So wasn't too bad of a thing, but I was like, okay, well now I got to figure out what to do. So I drove to the festival. I parked in one of the public parkings. It was only $10 or whatever. But then when I had looked it up when I was at my friend's house, it was oh wait, back it up. I totally hold on, back it up. So then the festival was delayed 3 hours, right? It was time for me to head out. Before it was time for me to head out, probably around like noon or whatever, my friend was like, hey, me and the fam are going to Starbucks. Let me know if you need anything. And I was like, okay. Well, then it comes time for me to leave. They still weren't home, and I was like, okay. And so I texted them, and I was like, so I'm getting ready to leave. Like, I don't know how you want me to lock the door. They were like, oh, well, my dad's in there somewhere. Just like go let him know that you're leaving, and he'll lock the door behind you. What do you mean by that? You didn't introduce me last night. You want me to just? What if I was a thief? What if I was a robber, and you just want me to go wander around the house? Like, I don't know. Something just it just didn't really sit right with me. You know, I'm not gonna get too much into it, but the whole like that just didn't really sit right with me. So, yeah, and then I went out there, I was like, "Hey," he was like, "Hey," and then, did kind of like the dad thing and then like locked the door behind me, whatever. So then I left, parked in the public parking garage, and then I was going to walk because when I was at their house, it had said like a 20-minute walk from the park to the from the parking garage to the park. Well, then I think what had happened is that like maybe it sent me to it, like it was gonna send me to a different part of the park, or like the festival was in a different part of the park, because why was the walk like 45 minutes?
Mm.
So I got there and I'm already sweating my ass off, like dripping through the clothes, pissed as fuck, like just hella mad. And so I get there And then, mind you, because they postponed it 3 hours, they cut one of the sets. I don't remember which set they cut, but they cut one of the sets. And then they started like hella soon after they opened the gates, because when they were originally supposed to open the gates, they're supposed to open the gates at 12. And then the first set wasn't until like 1:30. So my plan was obviously to get there at 12. I would get food, have food or whatever, walk around, enjoy the stuff, whatever. Just so like, you have time, I have time to figure out where everything is. I have time to just like
Get
relax,
acclimated.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But I couldn't do that because I got there probably around like 3:50 because the walk was so damn long. And then I had already missed the first set, I want to say. And then I got there during the second set, like in the middle of it or something like that. So, I already kind of just like I just felt like everything was like really, really rushed. So I'm sweating my ass off. I feel like everything's rushed. I hadn't eaten that day, yet, whatever. But like all the performers really, really good, like performed really well. For the most part, everybody was on time. I think the only person who was late that day that kind of made the rest of the day late a little bit was Earth Gang, but I think they were late just because they were having sound issues because they ended up coming out and their mics were off. That shit was crazy. I was like, I've never seen that happen. I've never seen that happen before. But their mics were off and they were jumping around like doing their little rapping thing, but you couldn't hear shit. I was like, oh, that's embarrassing. That's because they were so hyped too. They were so hyped too. And then their mics got turned on and people were like, I could hear people around me explaining what was happening, but basically like what I was getting at was like the mic or like whatever was getting like going off in the speakers was like the reverb or something like that, because like it just sounded terrible, like it was really bad. But then they ended up fixing it. But yeah, because they were late, it kind of made the rest of the day late. But I want to say after them it was only like 3 or 4 more like performers or whatever. But I got to see pretty much everybody that I wanted to see that day, so it wasn't too bad. Blisters in my heels like a bitch. That shit was also crazy. That really just fucked up the day as well. Of course was hungry. Like I said, bad vibes kind of from the beginning. So then during Sean Paul, I was like, okay, well, everyone's watching Sean Paul. And then there was like a performance after Sean Paul where I was like, okay, I don't really like have any desire to see them. So I'll just sit in line and like wait to get food or whatever then. So I was in line for this food, right? And I know festival food is expensive. I've been to a festival before, but I didn't think I was going to get scammed like this. So got up there and it was supposed to be like a birria quesadilla or whatever, right? I paid like $20 for this bitch. Why? I was so upset. I got first off, they gave you like, remember when you used to come to my lunches in elementary school and they would have like boats, like the little like lunch boats?
Mm-hmm.
Why was it a lunch boat with 2 corn tortillas, basically with a sprinkle of cheese and a couple pieces of chicken?
Oh man.
I was pissed because I was like, this is the only food that I ate that day. And then on top of that, I didn't bring my card with me because as you know, when I went to a music fest, I lost my card. Somebody spent like $600 on it. I wasn't playing that shit again. At this festival, they let you put your debit card or credit card onto your wristband. So I was like, I'm just gonna do that shit. Fuck it. I'm not bringing my card. I'm not losing that shit today. But then I also have Apple Pay with my credit card on my phone, but I don't know if a lot of like drive-through, restaurants or whatever, if they take Apple Pay. So I was like, I don't want to like, risk going through the McDonald's line, sitting there and then getting there and then them be like, yeah, we know we don't take Apple Pay. And then what? Like I'm starved and pissed off either way. So I was like, okay, well this is just going to have to do. I'm going to have to eat it, whatever. But I was hella mad. Yeah, so day 1 wasn't the greatest, but like I said, performances were all good. And then I feel like because the vibes were off in the beginning, like I wasn't really enjoying being by myself, because normally I enjoy being by myself. And the second day I enjoyed being by myself quite a bit. But the first day, just because everything else was kind of off, like the vibes were off, I just wasn't feeling it all together. It kind of just set the tone for the rest of the day and I just wasn't doing too hot.
Yeah, that makes sense. I get it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then also, God, Dad. So I met my husband in the food
This is
line,
a
right?
very unpopular opinion. Okay, go ahead.
met my husband in the food line, right? Basically I'm in love with him, but let me send you his picture and you have to guess how old he is for me, okay?
Well, first of all, I hope he was working. You need a husband with a job.
He does work. I'm pretty sure he's got some good money from my little lurking thing that I did. But no, he wasn't working. He was in the line, like he was in the line in front of me. But he was like, joking with me or whatever. And I was like, okay, like you're kind of cute, you're kind of cool, whatever. Like literally the first person that I talked to that entire day. And then I was like, hey, so
This
your
is day
number. I
two.
need day one. And I was like, hey, so actually I need your number. And he was like, actually, okay. So then we exchanged it or whatever. And then me doing my being a detective. You know how I found his Instagram?
I'm scared to ask.
So basically, and ladies, this is the life hack for all of you guys if they don't give you your social media. So I copy and pasted his phone number and put it into my Cash App and my Zelle. So his name, first and last name popped up along with the username. So I looked up his username from Cash App on Instagram, and it just so happened to be the same Instagram username.
Oh God, help me through this moment.
And then if you don't use Instagram, of course, it's going to bring up their first and last name. So you could just put that into Facebook or, Twitter, like anything that you need to, and their name will pop up. And that is how you find them. So that's basically what I did, right? Because he had asked me for my Instagram at one point and then just didn't follow me. So I was like, okay, so I'm just going to do it my fucking self. What? So, okay. But yeah, so you see him, right?
Yeah.
Take a guess at how old this man is.
Let me look again. Because the way you said it makes me think I need to be guessing older, anyways.
Or younger.
I don't know. I would guess early 20s.
Yeah, that's what I would have said too. That's what I would have said too. No, he's 31.
Oh wow.
If that's not definition of black don't crack, I don't know what the fuck is.
Yeah. Yeah. Would not have guessed 31.
Not at all, but I am so depressed. Like he already broke my heart once because he said that he lives in Cali, and that just really shattered my soul. And then when I did my lurking and found out that he was 31, I was really broken inside. So I'm just basically depressed, and because me personally, I don't care. Me personally, I don't care, but I know he would care. So that's just that. Yeah. So basically that day was just bad, dad. But then another guy had got my Instagram, and he's cool. He's my age, whatever. But yeah, so that was day one. And then day two, I just like day two just started off so much better. It started on time. I got there like early. Got there immediately, got food, and this food was actually like real food. I got like it was a jerk chicken quesadilla from one of the food trucks. Because I will say, okay, hold on, let me just stick with one fucking thing for right now. God damn it! So it was one of the food trucks. The food that I got the day before was from like the generic festival like food and bar thing or whatever. Just because their lines go faster, so I was like, let me just get them from there, whatever. But yeah, so this one was from like a food truck, so it was like actually real. But they gave me it was chips and queso, and then a jerk chicken quesadilla, and then I got a Philly cheesesteak roll. And I got that right when I got there. I ate it, walked around, whatever, enjoyed the sets. Second day, I was actually supposed to meet up with a girl that goes to Spelman. And she seems super cool, whatever. I'd be interested in hanging out with her. Like here, if you're listening, hey girl. But I didn't know. I don't know if like her and her because she was there with her family. I don't know if her and her family were like camping out to see like to get a good spot for Drake and J. Cole or whatever. But when I had got there, she was like, oh, I'm up in the front or whatever. I'm up in the front, so like feel free to come up here. And I was like, oh, because maybe this is an unpopular, I don't know if this is considered an unpopular opinion, or maybe this is just how you know if you've matured. But as a short person, being in the back is way better than being in the front.
Yeah.
Because I find that I can see, but because okay, I feel like regardless if I'm in the front or if I'm in the back, I'm gonna have to watch it from the TV, because if you're in the front, there's hella people trying to push in front of you, and like you have to just look, like you got to cock your neck a certain way to even look up. Like it's just so inconvenient being in the front versus being in the back. I'm able to take a step back and kind of look over the people that are taller than me. But when I'm in the front, since they're smushed up against me, I can't really look up above them. You know what I'm saying?
I got
So
you.
I was just like, like I told her, I was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and like stay back here. Like I could just see better from the back. And she was like, oh, okay. And then I had asked her, I was like, oh, are you going over to the other stage? To watch and she was like, no. And I was like, oh, okay. So then I was like, okay, well, never mind. So then I didn't even like really bother trying to meet up with her again, because I was like, I don't know if you're just gonna like stick this out, because like me personally, I want to go back. I'm gonna get my money's worth. I'm gonna go back and forth and watch everybody, like especially because I wanted to see everybody in the lineup. But yeah, so day 2 already starting off better. I feel like I looked better. I took a Uber from the public parking to the festival so that I wasn't sweating my ass off. Everything was good, right? Then I want to say it's probably like second or third uh set, right? I'm sitting there and I'm enjoying my chips and queso and my quesadilla. And then all of a sudden my stomach starts to hurt. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, maybe it's just from like I was just like, maybe it's just from, not eating for 2 days and it's my first real food for real. And then I was like, okay, well now my butt feels wet. And I was like, maybe I'm just sweating from the pain. No. I started my fucking period.
Oh no.
Pissed. I was like, so now I'm sitting here and I still have food in my hand. I was like, okay, so I don't really know what to do right now. I have food in my hand. There's nobody that I can ask to like hold my food. I don't trust these motherfuckers. You got me 50 shades of fucked up if you thought I was bringing that food into the porta potty. I don't know what I'm supposed to do right now. So then unfortunately, because I didn't know like, how heavy or how far along I was or whatever. So I was like, yep, I just got to go to the bathroom. I got to risk it all. So I had to throw away the rest of my food, which it wasn't a lot. It was like a fourth of the quesadilla or whatever, but I was still pissed. Like that shit was expensive. Threw away the food, went to the bathroom. Luckily, it like had barely started, so I caught it right on time. But of course, I don't have anything with me. I don't have pads. I don't have Tylenol, nothing. So I just had to shove some toilet paper and call it a fucking day. And then, kind of continued on, tried to push it through, got water, whatever, like trying to breathe through the day. No, it literally, the pain got so bad to the point where I like literally had to sit down on the floor. Like I almost collapsed. It was so bad. So I had to go to the medical tent. And it was so embarrassing because there was a bunch of like white medics like sitting in front of the medical tent, and I like met white guys. And I came up and I was like, and I looked at him and I was like, so do you have pads and Tylenol? Because I'm about to pass out. And he was like, and he like laughed at me. He was like, yeah, go ahead or whatever. So I went in there. They gave me ibuprofen. They gave me pads. Once I took the ibuprofen, once it kicked in, I was fine. The rest of the day was good. I was chill, whatever. And then really had no complaints for the rest of it. I will say I got sunburnt like a bitch.
I seen that. You look like a Neapolitan ice cream.
Yeah, like it's so bad. And it's like the tank top that I was wearing wasn't even skimpy, so it's literally just my shoulders and arms that are tan, like nothing else. Like so I was like, God damn it. And it was funny too, because I could see my arms getting darker like as I was standing there, and I was like, okay, nice little tan, like period. And then I got home and it hurt to move my arm. I was like, fuck.
Period.
I was pissed, but it was what it was. But shit, I'm right now. I'd much rather deal with this sunburn, especially because the sunburn, I'm like, it doesn't really hurt a ton right now, so I don't think it was actually that bad of a sunburn. But I'd rather deal with the sunburn than these damn blisters. These blisters is a bitch. But yeah, so then day was good. And then Burna Boy, oh god, Burna Boy was the highlight of my day that day. He's an angel. He is amazing. I actually decided that I'm going to AfroNation now. So catch me in Miami in May. If anyone else is going, catch me there. See y'all there. It's funny, me and Mariah, back from home, not Mariah, are going. So catch us there, Miami. Be there, be square. But yeah, so he was really, really good. He was the headliner before, Drake and J. Cole, whatever. So then after he was done, and also like, and I feel like, and it just like, I just wish like I knew, but like that AfroNation would be a festival that I could go to by myself, because based off of the crowd that I was in when we were sitting there watching Burna Boy, it was just such good vibes. Like we were all sitting there joking. We were all fucking around with the security guards. Like we was all vibing. I was talking. Like the guy that was in front of me, he had a group with him, but the group was all behind me. And then of course I'm by myself, and him and his other friend are in front of me. And he had let me go in front of him. So I was sitting up next to the gate. He let me go in front of him because I was by myself, like whatever. So it was just like, everyone was super nice. It was good vibes, whatever. So AfroNation, I could definitely tell that that's something that I would be willing to go to by myself, but I'm not going to. I'm still going to go with a friend. I think it would still be better. But yeah. So then it's time for me to go over to Drake and J. Cole, right? So I'm sitting there and I'm like, and I'm in the way, way, way back, because at that point, everybody had been sitting over there camping, waiting for them to come out. I'm not getting nowhere up close. And if I was going to even remotely try to get into that crowd, I couldn't see shit. So I was like, let me just stand in the back. I'm going to have to watch from a TV regardless, whatever. So stood in the back, right? And this girl, I was trying to send her like some homework answers or whatever, right? But mind you, I don't have good service at these festivals, especially today. So I'm sitting there on my phone, right? I'm looking down, whatever, minding my business, waiting for J. Cole and Drake to come out. All of a sudden, I hear screams. And I look up, and this is the best possible way that I could explain what happened to you. Remember the Lion King when Mufasa gets ran over by the wildebeest?
Yeah.
When I tell you, Dad, the entire crowd, and when I say the entire crowd, I am not exaggerating to you, sprinting as fast as they can towards me.
Shit, what the hell?
Everybody is running towards the exits. So I obviously turn around and start running, and I am just bawling. I'm trying to call you. I'm trying to call my mom. I'm trying to call anybody that I fucking can because I do not know what is going on. I'm thinking it's fucking Astro World all over again. I'm thinking someone's shooting. Like, I did not know what was going on. I was like, I don't hear gunshots. I don't know what the fuck is happening. I have no service. My phone is in SOS mode right now. Like, everybody is running towards me. I'm about to get crushed. I'm just sitting here trying to do some fucking homework for music appreciation class. Like, what the fuck is going on right now? What the fuck is going on? And then I turn around real quick and I stop. And then everyone else stops and walks back to the stage. When I tell you this was some Jordan Peele horror movie type bullshit, I was like, what the fuck was that? So I turn around and I'm like looking around like everybody's acting normal. Shit's sweet. Shit's cute. About to go see Drake and J. Cole. I turn around and I see this group of people next to me and they're kind of like looking at awe like, what the fuck just happened too? So I turned to them. I said, so what the fuck are we running for? And they were like, I don't give a fuck. When one nigga runs, we all run. I don't give a fuck. Run now, ask questions later. And I was like, okay, you're right, but what the fuck are we running for? Like, why am I sitting here bawling my eyes out, profusively trying to call my fucking dad and mom right now, thinking that I'm about to die? What the fuck am I? What is going on? And they were like, bro, we have no clue. Yada yada yada, whatever. So now my legs are like my legs are shaking. I'm scared. Like, I don't know what just happened. Like, that shit was surreal. I was about ready to go home. I was about to say, fuck Drake, fuck J. Cole. I don't give a fuck. I'm going home. So then they ended up like adopting me in their group. They were hella cool. I think it's so ironic and like how weird the world works. But two of them, it was this couple. They had asked me where I was from, and I was like, "Oh, I'm from Seattle." They were like, "Oh, did you come all the way to here from Seattle?" And I was like, "No, I came here from Atlanta. Like, I drove or whatever. I'm actually going to school over there." And they were like, "Oh, like what school are you going to?" And I was like, "Clark Atlanta." And they were like, "Oh, that's cool. Like, we're from Atlanta too." I guess the girls' either nephew or cousin goes to Clark Atlanta, and he's a freshman too. So I just thought that was like a really weird, like interesting experience, like how we just bonded over like almost dying, and then all of a sudden, like now I just somehow know your nephew and cousin. I don't know, but they were super super sweet. They were like, you're really brave for coming out here by yourself. Like, we couldn't do that at 18. And then they were like, the lady had bought me churros because she seen that I looked sick to my fucking stomach. Like, we were vibing or whatever. But yeah, that was a very traumatic moment in the weekend. And it's funny because I still don't really know what happened because like managers or whoever was like, running the event had come out and was like, "Hey, everybody, you're safe. Nothing happened, but there is a medical emergency over at this at the speaker zone or whatever. I need you guys to clear away so that medics can get over there." Right? So I'm like, okay. So there's no way that we all ran from a fucking medical emergency, because I've been in multiple situations where people have passed out like at music events and nobody runs away from it. So unless it's the Black Plague, who the fuck just ran from that? So I was like, okay, so that's not the case. I know it wasn't getting shot up because one, security was was pretty good, I would say, and two, I didn't hear gunshots. I would have heard that. So I was like, okay, so nothing's getting shot up. I was thinking maybe somebody possibly like started fighting, like, and it just like, everybody was freaking the fuck out. I don't know. Cause I will say, for it being a Black owned festival and an all Black lineup, there was a lot of white people there. And it was kind of, I wouldn't say it irritated me, but like, I was just like, that's so ironic, especially because like when we were over there watching Burna Boy, when I tell you everybody, like the VIP section was half-ass empty, which was so disappointing because Burna Boy is so good. But it was like half-ass empty, and a majority of it were white people, and nobody knew what he was singing. I was like, "What are y'all doing? Go to Drake and J. Cole. Get out of here!
If
you piss me off."
I'm about to give everybody out there. I'm about to give you some game. If you want white folks to show up, label it a Black event. Motherfuckers love to come out for that shit. They just love it. They just want to be down.
It's like when people are really loud but really wrong. It's like, what are you here for? Like, you know better, bro. You know better. But yeah, there was a lot of white people.
Yeah, that's how it goes down, though. For real. I've seen it happen too many times. Just like the all Black showcase comedy thing I did. There weren't any Black people there besides the comics.
Yeah, and just like the damn Black History Month poetry thing that we were talking about that one episode that I went to, it was all white people in that crowd. I'm
It's
just like,
funny.
I don't get it.
Hey,
Like,
hey, wait, let's clean it. You know what, white folks, we love y'all. Y'all cool. Y'all cool. Some of y'all actually get invited to the barbecue. Some of
yeah,
y'all can't though.
no. Some of y'all need to stick with your green bean casserole.
Some of you motherfuckers is too goddamn woke. You need to go back to fucking sleep.
That part. But Jesus. So yeah, I hung out with them. It was super, super dope. Like I said, this really brought out, the old school Drake lover in me. And then he brought out like all the guests, which were like I thought that his guests were gonna eat up a little bit more. Like, what are you bringing out Uzi for? Be so for real. Nobody wanted Uzi up there. They didn't want Uzi up there so bad they purposely messed up his audio. I swear to God, they did. When I tell you,
Mm,
he kept cutting in and out. His mic was on, his mic was off. The music playing from the speakers was cutting in and out. I had never seen that before either. I'm like, y'all did not want him up there. Just take his ass down.
that's funny.
But yeah, it was so good. And then at the end, Drake made us all sing Whitney Houston, "I Will Always Love You" to J. Cole.
Oh hell.
Yeah, that was funny. That was a good little moment. And then I really liked it when like the Dreamville, like the whole entire, record label got
Roster.
up there and
Yeah.
sang like their song or whatever together. They only did one, which I wish that like they would have done more, which I'm assuming at the other Dreamville festivals, they probably do more songs together. But because Drake was like considered another headliner in that same set, they probably only did the one together, and that's probably why. Um, but yeah, everybody really, really good. Vibes were good the second day, up until almost dying. But then everything was shit was sweet. Oh, I was telling you about how the couple options of what that could have been. But yeah, so I was like, okay, it's not a medical emergency. No one's getting shot up. Maybe it was possibly a fight. I had heard somewhere that people started running so that people would get away from the stage so that they could get closer. That shit is insane. You're really telling me that you started a damn riot so you could get close to the stage? If you don't go to the fucking back and watch it from the TV, it is streaming on Amazon Music right now at home. You can go watch it from there.
It wouldn't surprise me. Or if the medical emergency was the person was throwing up or shitting on themselves, motherfuckers
Yeah.
would have ran for that. So
Yeah, because the girl in my group, like in one of the little group or whatever that I was in, she was saying, she was like, it probably was a situation where something very minor happened. One person freaked out and ran, and so then it made everybody else run because they don't know what's going on. Just kind of like how we started running, and I was like, yeah, you're probably right. So there was that, and then what else? Someone had said something about like there was a small fire, and I was like, okay, I feel like they wouldn't have said we were all safe if there was a small fire going on. Like I don't know.
oh, now I
But
got it. I know exactly what happened.
hmm.
Somebody was up there trying to smoke some weed, caught their weave on fire,
Mm,
which then caused them to shit themselves,
mm.
and all their friends ran away from them.
And
Thus,
then
the
there goes the rest of the
stampede.
crowd.
There you go.
Yeah, the stampede was crazy. Oh god. But then I was like, okay, well maybe they're not telling us the whole truth, because when I tell you like there was hella firefighter people or like security guards or whatever. They looked more like firefighters to me, but like firefighters and cops went into the crowd, like in a damn line. Like I was like, okay, something's going on, and I'm freaking out. And it was funny because the boyfriend of the one girl, me and the girl were both sitting around snooping. We were like looking around trying to follow the little security guards. He was like, y'all are so damn nosy. I was like, because you are not gonna put me on the line. I'm gonna figure out what the fuck going on. If it's one thing about me, I'm gonna figure it out. So we were going back and forth, whatever. It was funny. But then when I did my research afterwards on Twitter and TikTok, someone had said something about how like some guy that was on drugs had run out of like the medical tent acting a fool. So she had said that like some guy did that in front of her. And then what else did I see? I seen something else on Twitter too that I was like, okay, well maybe that was like a possibility. But yeah, so that shit was just crazy. It was like basically untalked about, and then like literally Drake and J. Cole came on like nothing happened. I was like, okay, um, it is what it is, I guess. I don't know.
They're
But yeah,
probably
so
just now
then
hearing about it.
yeah, probably because yeah, when I tell you, literally everybody acted like it was normal and it wasn't that big of a deal. When I'm sitting here, I'm the one shitting on myself. Y'all got to worry about me. Y'all do not have to worry about whoever was up there. It's me that you got to worry about, because I was crying and shaking. My body was numb. Like, when I tell you, the pain of the sunburn and the blisters, gone so fast. Like everything. That's why when I was texting you and my mom, because I didn't want to freak my mom out at all, and I didn't want to freak you out at all either. But when I texted you guys, I was like, no, I'm good to drive home. I'm up. I'm up. Yeah, I'm up. Yeah, that's why I was up as fuck. I was not that.
That makes
I
a
was
whole
up.
lot of sense. Your
Yeah,
mom,
I
your
was
mom hit me
not
up
going
and
to
was
sleep.
like, "Yeah, can you tell her not to drive?" I was like, "I could try."
Yeah, no. And it's funny. It's funny because I knew she texted you too. Because I was like, I didn't even tell him I was driving home. What does he text me for? What does he text me for? I didn't even tell him. I was like, I was gonna tell him when I was on the way. What does he text me for?
Yeah,
So I knew.
I didn't make any promises. I could try.
Yeah, no, I knew at that very moment that I was gonna be perfectly fine driving my ass home. I was like, yep, nope, I'm up for the next week and a half. Shit, that was crazy.
I didn't realize the stimuli. I was just worried about by the time you got back to the city and you got back in that stop and go shit that you'd be tired already, and that's not a good look.
Well, yeah, I will say, like, the last hour or so, I started seeing shit.
Hmm.
Yeah, the last hour was when I finally got tired, but it was early enough to the point where I wasn't in stop and go. It was still just all go. But yeah, that last hour was like, I was literally like seeing shit that I wasn't supposed to see. Like, at one point, the tires on the car in front of me had looked like people like curled up in a ball, like doing somersaults. It was
Oh my gosh.
it was such a crazy experience. I've never, and then like I was sitting there talking to Tira, because Tira had called me, because he knows how I fall asleep in the car. So he had called me and he was up with me basically the whole rest of the drive, like after like maybe the first 2-3 hours or whatever. And I was talking to him, and I knew that it was such a weird experience. I knew that there were words coming out of my mouth, right? But I couldn't like hear myself, or maybe I wasn't registering what I was saying fully. And then like all of a sudden it would randomly click at such a random like time, and then all of a sudden I would be like, whoa, like it was just such a weird realization. That last hour was really just crackhead energy. I don't know what was going on. But yeah, so that was my Dreamville weekend. It felt a lot worse in the moment, but then afterwards I was like, damn, I want to go back. Like, yeah, I kind of had a good time, like whatever. So yeah, I would say it was like a good 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. It was really just like the circumstances that it had like to begin with. Vibe kind of just set the tone for the weekend. um and then shit just did not want to go right for me. Like, I was vibing shit, then I wanted to start my period, then I got fucking sunburnt, then the blisters, and I was like, okay, well, y'all clearly don't want me to win. Then my husband being 31, I'm like, damn, y'all just want me to fail at life. You want me to be alone and burnt and broken.
Unable to walk away. Just
Damn.
stuck
Oh
there in the
yeah, and
sweet
then I
spot.
was like, I had to walk from the festival to my car like after, the second day, and then I actually ran from the festival to my car. So the 45-minute walk turned to a good like 20-minute jog. It was, yeah. Um yeah, so that was my experience. But the whole point of that was Drake might be back in, that was the whole point. And Lil Wayne. I sit there and watch the video of Lil Wayne coming in like at least once a day.
Oh Lord.
I don't know. I don't know why, but it just made me so happy. I don't know. I don't know what it was, Dad.
My next unpopular opinion.
Yeah, that was my Dreamful experience, guys. If any of you guys want to go with me next year, I'm also thinking I might have to get VIP depending on how expensive they are during pre-sales. Because VIP low-key might be worth it. They get like a whole entire half a stage to themselves. Anyways, it doesn't matter. But yeah, okay. Back to the next unpopular opinion. Hey.
I'm tired of littles and I'm tired of babies.
Okay, but which ones can stay though?
Neither. They need to update their shit. Ain't no none of them little and ain't none of them babies. They are
Lil Wayne is little.
shit. Then he need to be compared to some other size Waynes or something. Get a
Okay.
bunch of Waynes together.
So really none of them.
I,
Like,
I
who are the OGs for real though? Like,
for
because
the
I feel like
littles and the babies.
yeah.
Lil Wayne probably was the first little that I could think of off the top of my head.
I was gonna say, can Lil Wayne just stay Lil Wayne? I feel like he deserves it. Um, I'll say I think that Da Baby can stay a baby because well, he's little too, but he's just hard as fuck. I don't know if you've listened to any of Da Baby's raps, but he's pretty hard. So I'm gonna give it to him. He deserves his name.
I've listened to a few, not necessarily impressed.
Really?
Yeah, he doesn't wow me.
I think he's better than Lil Baby.
Well, maybe I'm getting them mixed up. See, that's the other problem. Them motherfucking babies and littles. I don't know which one is which. Shit. I know I'm not their target audience, but motherfuckers need to clean that shit up. Get your little ass, baby ass together. You need to be big adolescent. Can you be big adolescent? Is that out there?
It's crazy.
Medium sized grown up. Is that a thing? Can we do that maybe? Yeah.
But yeah, I do agree. The baby's got to go down the drain. Oops. I shouldn't have said that. That sounded so bad. It's crazy because I just watched a TikTok about it was a Grey's Anatomy episode where a kid threw a baby in the trash can. Wow. Anyways, that's not the point. But yeah, babies can be canceled and Lils too.
So yeah. Maybe it's an unpopular opinion out there. Me and you agree. So what do you got?
I feel like we agree a lot in our unpopular opinions.
Because I have tainted your little brain.
Yeah. Oops.
What you got? What's on your unpopular list? I feel like I've shared a couple good ones that the black folks, the girls and the gays. Say it again. The girls and the gays and the girls.
And the theys.
And the theys and the thems.
No.
Not the theys and thems?
The theys.
Just the theys?
Fine. Girls and the gays.
Gotcha.
Days.
Okay.
See, you can't do shit right.
Hey, that's just not my cup of tea. I don't know what the fuck. I'll be trying to keep up.
One unpopular opinion that I found, and maybe it's just because I'm on the East Coast though, is that I think that West Coast rappers are better than East Coast rappers. And we may have talked about this before. I don't know if it was just a conversation between you and I or if we talked about it on the podcast. But me personally, I think West Coast rappers are better than East Coast rappers. Oh, shit. Almost fell over.
That's funny. It depends for me on which rappers you're talking about. There's a couple East Coast heads that I fucks with. Redman, Method Man, they come through. Yeah, for sure.
They're East Coast?
Yes, ma'am.
Huh.
Yeah. Red's from Jersey, and then Method Man is from Staten Island, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
It's a cow.
Are those it though? Like, is that all you can think of? I know for sure when I'm thinking of like old school, I think of West Coast. There are some East Coast rappers that I'm like, okay, y'all kind of eat, but I feel like for the most part, and I feel like we actually talked about this a little bit on the last episode, but I feel like a lot of the West Coast rappers like actually rap about like something, and maybe that's the only reason why I think that they're better, because it's like for me. Because I still feel like their music and the quality of like, the sound is good, but I feel like, the actual writing is good. And that's normally what I tend to gravitate towards is like the words. And I feel like a lot of West Coast rappers actually rap about something.
It depends on what you're looking for. I'm like you. I'm much more of a lyricist than anything else. So Like we were talking about Eminem, he came up the last time, but yeah, I think he's a bad boy. And if for some reason he's been a big topic of discussion lately. I don't know why people want to debate whether or not he's a bomb ass MC. I don't know why that's even really a conversation.
Bomb ass MC, like
he's a lyricist. He gets it down. He's a
so we're still talking about rapping. When I'm thinking MC, I'm thinking like you're talking about like he's hosting shows or something.
Oh hell no.
I was like, what show does Eminem got? Let me know.
Yeah, I don't think he would be a good host for a show.
No, you don't think so? Mm-mm. He looked like he got stage fright.
Exactly.
Stop! Why did you really thought that too? That's so fucking funny.
Yes, ma'am. I don't think he would thrive in like right there in the moment. I could be totally wrong though. Hey, Em, if you're listening, hit me up.
Want to be a guest? Look. Let's talk about your music.
I want to see what you think about actually hosting something. I just don't see that being your forte, but I could be wrong.
That is funny. That is, yeah, he looks like he got stage fright, but yeah. So, that's one of my unpopular opinions, I would say.
Yeah.
How, how about you? You got any, you had your really controversial one. Let's get into that one because
I,
I still need you to even explain it to me.
I just have to figure out how to make it work. Because I actually think if you sit back and think about it, it's kind of half-ass funny. But
Lord help me,
with
Jesus.
with the mass shooting, right? It doesn't make you wish for the days when all you heard about was suicide. Did you even hear? I mean, there was a time where like it was suicide, and you got to get the suicide prevention and all that, and it was a bunch of
Right.
suicide. That seemed to be not popular is not the right word, but that was
It
the
was a big
most.
topic.
Yeah, that was the most you've seen out there. I don't hear about that as much anymore. You do hear some because like folks want to help those that are thinking about suicide. I haven't heard
Right.
about them having a mass shooter line. Like if you're considering mass shooting, call this line. But um,
Mm.
that might be something they should think about.
New Shark Tank idea or what?
I'm just saying.
Do we got to open up a new Verizon account? Should we start it? I don't know,
I'm just
honestly.
saying. If it works for the suicide folks, can it work for the mass shooters? Can they talk it out instead of going and doing the shit they do for what appears to be no apparent reason? Nobody can ever explain it to me, other than maybe
Mm,
because they take ugly mugshot pictures.
mm,
You know
wow.
what? Hey, parents, here's a tip. Get rid of all the ugly pictures of your child, and maybe you'll have a chance for them not to be a mass shooter because they should come up with some fucked up pictures. If you only have cute pictures of your child, then there's a chance you won't be a mass shooter.
Mm. That's what you think it is? Do you think it's the ugly baby photos or
It's
what?
ugly baby pictures.
that's
That
that's what
pushes
makes
so.
somebody want to kill a number of folks in a school is ugly baby photos. Yep, y'all heard it here, folks. We done cracked the fucking case. If you are ugly, stay the fuck home. That's we done cracked the motherfucking
That
case.
shit weighs on you. It's not easy being ugly. I'm sure it's not. I've seen
God
it
damn it.
in the
God
wild.
damn it. In the wild. Oh Jesus! Wow. Mm-mm-mm. God damn it. You are getting way too much of a fucking kick out of this, and that's the problem. And that is the damn problem.
Don't be mad at me because I can spot ugly in the wild. I just
Mm,
seen it. I
mm,
said, by Crocky, we're
mm.
gonna we're gonna hunt the ugly fella.
Yeah, you and
Oh,
these accents today are crazy.
look, there he is.
Mm,
Look, you like that one?
mm, mm. God damn it. Yeah, you're going to hell for sure.
Look, there he is. It's the ugly
Mm.
fella lurking about.
No, okay, your accent just changed right there.
Yeah, I fucked it up. Sorry, guys. I'm still working on that.
Oh, Jesus.
I caught
But
it too.
okay, now that you explained it, it makes sense.
It didn't work in text, huh?
Yeah, no, with the way you said it was it just was really fucked up shit. Like I don't like the way that like, it's still fucked up. Like,
Right,
you
right,
know,
right, right, right,
but
right.
yeah, you were like, well, wouldn't you rather them kill themselves? Like, I don't know how you said it over text, but I was like, oh, okay, yeah, we got to talk about this one because I don't know what the fuck is going on. But
When you
yeah, okay, now
responded, I was like, okay, that didn't come across right.
but it does make sense. It's kind of like the whole it kind of reminds me of like the debate where it's like, would you rather save like one family member or 100 strangers from a burning building?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's kind of given that, but like obviously like you may not know the person who, well, you may know the person who shot up a school or killed themselves, but like, yeah, okay, I agree. I would say I agree with that.
Yeah, it's probably not a popular opinion. Probably not something that people are going to line up for, sign any
No,
bills or anything. But
right. But yeah,
we,
I don't really know how you stop mass shootings other than maybe controlling the guns, but like, yeah, because when you had said like the hotline thing, I would think that the suicide hotline is for those people too, but they just got I don't know, they just got a different, I wouldn't know because I never had a thought about doing that, but
Right.
Like they just got like a different method of doing things. I don't know. Maybe they they said they got to see it through my boy, so they just gonna take everybody else. I don't know really, but
Yeah, we never get to hear like what was your end goal? What did you
right.
think this was going to gain you by taking out
And
all these extra
really,
people,
they
especially
really
kids?
fucked that shit up.
I yeah, that part blows my mind. Like, what could you
Especially the little
possibly?
ones.
Yeah, they couldn't have done. They haven't been here that long. They couldn't have done anything that bad.
Right. Yeah, so
Anyways, we,
I don't get it, but I do. Yes, okay, I understand what you're saying now. I get it. Yeah.
but I'm not trying to end on a sour note. That was a fucked up one. We probably should have
I know.
led with that one.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
um
that is another unpopular opinion. I got another one. I got another one. Are you sitting down?
yeah.
Okay, and this goes out to all you motherfuckers that fucking wear them too. Crocs suck.
Yeah,
Let me
that's an
say it
unpopular
again.
one.
Yeah, let me say it again. Crocs fucking suck. If you rocking Crocs, there's a possibility you suck.
I feel like that's a lot of the shoes now though. Like you seen them damn red boots?
Oh my gosh.
Them fucking Mickey Mouse looking head ass boots, bro.
Who the
The
hell
Ronald
paid for
McDonald,
those? Who
the
purchased
Ronald
those?
motherfucking Donald red motherfucking boots, bitch.
If you didn't get them for free, you paid too much. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, yeah, those boots.
Looking like fucking Mario Brothers. You better get the fuck out of here with that.
What are those? What are those called? I make fun of tear foam. Oh, foam runners, ZZ foam runners. I don't like those.
Mm, mm, mm.
The Yeezy slides aren't too bad, but but okay, Yeezy slides are not too bad, but $170 for some fucking foam slides is crazy. I'm gonna go cut a cardboard box and make them damn slides. I don't give a fuck. But the slides are much better than the foam runners. I think the foam runners are so ugly, and I laugh every single time that I see them get stuck in an escalator.
All I can say is they I couldn't relax in them. They look too busy. There's too much going on.
With the foam runners,
Yeah.
it's just like to me, it's not even really a shoe for real. It's got holes and like granted Crocs do too, but I feel like Crocs got a little more coverage than like like I feel like a foam runner is like the G string of shoe.
Oh yeah. Well, can we talk about the Crocs coverage and the little doodads that you get for them? Crocs
The
suck.
gibbets,
Is that what they
the
call
gibbet,
gibbets?
yeah.
Kiss my gibbets. Get the fuck out of here with that.
No, okay. So I don't like Crocs. I will not be purchasing a pair for myself, but I don't know if you've seen like the new Crocs where like they don't got holes, but they're like wavy.
Mm,
You have you seen those?
I haven't. I
Oh, well,
haven't.
I think those look a little bit better than the normal Crocs, but I still don't really plan on buying myself a pair, but I've seen those and I don't think those are bad. Another pair of ugly shoes and I just don't get it. Have you seen the bubble slides?
No, I have not.
That's another thing where you can actually put things inside of like the little holes or whatever, kind of like a gibbet, but I don't think they're called gibbets, but I
Oh
don't really
my
know.
gosh.
But I think it's funny. I think the bubble slides are Yeezy too, actually, but don't quote me on that. I could be totally lying.
So they're like the. Did you ever see I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker?
No,
When my man had the platform shoes with the goldfish in them.
no,
Yeah. Came out of prison with those platform shoes with the goldfish in them. Thought he was
God
a
damn
shit. And they started chasing him down the street and his shoe broke. Goldfish fell out. You might you might have to watch that one.
Oh God.
That was one of those Keenan Ivory Wayans ones.
Mm. Yeah, no, I did not see that one. But yeah, okay, I agree. Yeah, I think that I feel like this is not very much of a good podcast episode because I just am agreeing with everything that you're saying.
Yeah, well, I probably shouldn't have prepped you, but I didn't prep you for the accent, so
No,
that caught you off guard
yeah,
at least.
that one was new for sure. Yeah. But like I don't know that it's as much unpopular opinions as much as like we're just speaking truth. We're just truthers.
We'll see. We'll see what folks say out there. We'll see if we get canceled. Hey, Holmes, if this bothered you,
Wow.
fuck you, Holmes.
Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Wow. What else? What else I got?
I don't know. I said what I said.
And you meant what you said?
Hell the yeah.
Mm,
That's
period.
as the FCC had censored me.
Yeah, I don't have anything else at the top of my head right now. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't prep.
You mean I prepped and you didn't?
Period. As you should. I do everything motherfucking else for this damn podcast.
You know what? Say something else.
The least you could do is come up with a couple of unpopular opinions. Matter of
say,
fact, give me one more. Yeah, give me one more, motherfucker.
say something else.
You say something else. Damn, you didn't talk for the first 5 episodes of the damn podcast. You say something else. This is your podcast too, co-host.
All
Say
right,
something else.
and on that note, we're gonna wrap this up. We're right about.
Are we out of time? Because according to my calculations, we have 60 minutes remaining of recording time. So
We
you
don't want
say
to burn
something.
it all now, sugar. We don't want to burn it all now.
No, we got another lined up right now, so I don't really want to hear it.
Yeah, I don't think I have any more unpopular opinions. I think that was all of them. Other than I think some children should be beaten, but that's probably not something we should go
Ooh,
into.
no?
I don't think it's ever too late for shaken baby syndrome. I think
Mm,
you can give that to any child at any age.
okay. But here we
I've,
go with the babies. Is it shaken adolescent syndrome?
oh yeah.
Because I
What?
thought we were canceling the babies.
Well, that's just what they named the syndrome itself. I don't know if anybody's actually tried to give it to an adult, but until you do that, they're probably not
Yeah,
going
but
to
I
change
thought
the
I
name
thought
of
we
it.
were done. I thought we were done naming things after babies. So
Well, that would be like
um,
if I said we're done naming things after hearts. What are you going to not call it a heart attack anymore? What is it now?
mm,
Just an attack, or what are you
pulmonary valve.
what are you thinking? Oh, that's another one that I think is probably isn't unpopular at all, but minor stroke. That doesn't sound so bad. That kind of sounds like something you would do in the privacy of your own home.
What?
But as a medical term, it could kill you. A minor stroke.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm-mm-mm.
Sounds like something teenage boys just do when they're all alone.
Okay. Here's an unpopular. What? 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 What'd
where
you
were you?
say?
Where were you going with your unpopular opinion? I want to
What
hear what it
the
is before
fuck
you forget.
is wrong
You're
with
gonna
you?
forget.
What? No, I know exactly what the fuck I'm gonna say.
Say it. Say it. Say it.
So, uh, can I speak?
Say it.
Thanks.
Say it. Say it.
So, unpopular opinion, which this might be a long discussion, but well, no, maybe not. We kind of already talked about it. This is gonna sound so terrible, and it's really just for me, but age gaps.
Oh hell.
And I feel like, it's funny because thinking about it, I feel like I'm really the exception to the rule because, like, when I think about other people, I'm just like, ew, that's so sick. But like when it's me, I'm like, no, it's not that sick.
Because with the it's not necessarily all the time about age. Not to quote Aaliyah, but it is in some instances it is just a number, and a lot of times it has to do with your maturity level and what you have references to. Uh, you can reference and relate to older people because you've hung
And
around
that's
older
what I
people.
said. That's what I was saying too. Because like my friend, Bessie Jalen or whatever, he is so against my older men thing. he's like Bella, remember it's still sick. Like you're 18. I'm like okay, but like my thing is like okay. I'm not a kid anymore. Like okay, I get I'm a kid, but like I'm not a kid, and like I feel like I haven't necessarily acted like a kid for a long time. Granted, it would have been like it would have been gross if I was still in high school and like these guys were hitting on me or whatever. But like I don't I just feel like I vibe with older people so much more that like I'm almost getting like discouraged right now with like the because I know I don't need a boyfriend, I don't need to date anybody, whatever. That's not really my thing, whatever. But like with all of these guys, like these older guys like hitting on me or whatever, and me like I just feel like I'm not able to like vibe the way that I want to because I feel like it's like in the back of my head it's like oh age or whatever, but like in reality like I vibe with these older people much more than I do vibe with the people that are my age. Granted, niggas can still be not shit regardless of their age. I've
Ding
also
ding
learned
ding
that
ding ding
very
ding 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 ding.
quickly. I've also learned that from my experience with these couple of older guys that I've talked to. But I'm just like, I feel like I vibe and like just get along and just would much rather do things that they want to do. Cause like just the way that like, even if they're being fake, I feel like the older guys try to play it off a little bit better than the younger guys do. Cause it'll be like, the younger guys will be like, oh, well, you got your own apartment. Well, why won't you let me slide? Like, da 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 da. But then the older guys will at least be like, oh, okay, well, we can go catch a movie. And then like, go catch a movie. And then it's like, okay, so when am I sliding? Like, at least they play the game a little bit. Like, but yeah, I don't know. Like, just like the couple of older guys I've talked to, it just seems like they do more that I would be interested in. So I don't know. So that's an unpopular opinion, I guess, because I guess we could go back and forth and debate it. And I will say that like when I look at some people and I look at their age gaps and stuff like that, I'm like, yeah, that's gross. Like, why would you ever do that with this person or whatever the case may be? But I really do feel like I'm like the exception to the rule type thing. And maybe it's just because it's me and I'm like, older guys. But yeah. And I also feel like you and my mom don't help. But anyways.
Okay. Now I'm done. I'm ready to go. I need some
Mic
food.
drop?
Yeah, that was it. I'm hungry now.
That's all you had in you?
Yeah.
No response even for real? Like, damn.
Yeah.
Just all you got is Aaliyah, ain't nothing but a number? Like, damn.
I got nothing.
Okay, fuck. Well, bye, damn. Shit.
Yeah, I mean, what am I supposed to say? I got nothing. I can't
Don't condone,
Yeah, I can't. I'm not in a position to do either. I just hope keep your options open. Hopefully you find somebody closer to your age that's mature enough to give you the challenge and comfort that you get from older gentlemen and go from there. If not, and you kick it with an older dude, shit. If you're happy, I'm happy. I'm not gonna judge none of that.
Okay, well, maybe we should have my mom on the podcast and see. Never mind, doesn't matter. Okay, bye.
Peace out, sauerkraut.
Okay, I'll do dad. Bye.
I'll do bye. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of the Fricken Dad Podcast.
Don't forget to save and rate and do whatever else it is that you do with podcasts. Tune in every Wednesday for our new episodes.
Follow us on our personal social medias for updates. They will be in the description. Follow me at I Crack Myself Up on Instagram to follow me on my comedy journey.
And me at It's Bellaboo with 2 A's on Instagram to follow me through the rest of my journey.
Again, tune in every Wednesday on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
And this is the Fricken Dad Podcast.